Hello everyone and welcome to Ewan's Buzz. Today we're going to be cleaning the contacts in this NAD 3020i amplifier. So what I've done is I've looked up the schematic online and I found it. And also we're going to just be cleaning the contacts because the problem that I'm having is that one of the channels is not giving me good sound. It's sort of like scratchy and there's no bass. So we're going to be cleaning up the contacts and hopefully the potentiometers. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I've also got a new spotlight, so we'll see how that is. And we're going to be using this electronics cleaner, this here, to try to clean the contacts. So let's get right to it. Okay, so here's a bit of a more close-up look at the amplifier. So this amplifier has got some adjustment knobs and different selections and your volume knob. Luckily these knobs aren't scratchy, so if I can clean them, I will, but if I can't, then they should be fine. So, but the main thing we're going to be focusing on is these buttons here. So, these buttons basically select between which input you want. And this one is a bit scratchy, so that's why we just want to clean them all. But the phono stage, well, that's a completely different button, and that one seems to also be fine. But we will be cleaning all of them. And so, yeah, I'm going to remove the screws, and excuse the rumbling in the background, it's just pretty windy. So I'm going to remove the screws and give you a closer look inside. Okay, so I've removed the top and the front plate of the amplifier, and we've got access to these little buttons here. And we've also got access to these ones as well. So what I'm going to do is take some electronics cleaner, which is here, and I'm going to try spray it in the front and press this button a few times. So, let's give it a try. So now hopefully that electronics cleaner has been carried into this switch. Now, let's try this one. Okay, that's that one. Let's do that one. And we'll also spray in a bit at the top, just for good measure, if we can get some through. So you're just going to press the buttons a few times, just to hopefully just get that stuff in there. Because if you don't get it in there, that button doesn't really need to be pushed. But we'll put some contact cleaner on that one as well. So yeah, you basically just need to push the buttons a few times until you really get them, you know, sort of work. You work them almost. And so now we can spray the next button. And this one is not linked to the other ones. This one is just one of these little clicky buttons. So we're going to spray some of the stuff on the top here as well. And we're just going to click it a few times. And some of these buttons I don't even use. So cleaning them is still a good idea because then if you do end up using them in the future, you will still have them to be able to be used. So also these ones, don't use them a lot, but still best to clean them. And also just the clicky switchy buttons. So yeah, that's basically all you need to do when cleaning them. Next we're going to have to clean the potentiometers, which are these. And those are going to be a bit easier to clean because they've got a little hole on the back that's specifically made there to be cleaned. So that helps a lot. So hopefully we can just work this stuff through. And once we do that, it's basically clean. So I'll move the camera to show you the inside so we can see how you clean the potentiometers. Just give me one moment, please. Okay, so now you're sort of inside the amplifier, and as you can see, here's all the juicy innards. But here's our volume knob, which is hiding right here, and this is the potentiometer it's connected to. And excuse the wind again, I'm sorry, but I can't control the weather. So at the back here, don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a tiny little hole at the back there. And that is usually your entrance point to spray your electronics cleaner. So I'm trying not to get in the way of the camera. And then now you just gotta work it. You know, give it some turns. Because this basically deoxidizes the contacts. So it won't, because oxidation stops the flow of electricity. And so you don't want that in an amplifier or anything. So basically, by doing this, let's say you have an old piece of kit, like an old volume knob on a tape deck or something. And when you turn it up, it's scratchy. That is what oxidation and dust does. And that is one thing that you really don't want, because that just doesn't make it sound good. And honestly, it can give you quite a fright when you turn it up and it goes. So that's why when you clean these, that's basically why it helps so much to do so. So yeah, you just twist it around and work it. And yeah, when working on electronics that require 240 volts, always just be careful, because it is high voltage. And yeah, and as long as you be careful, you should be fine, really. So yeah, that is basically all the contacts that need to be cleaned. Oh shoot, a little straw fell out. Oh well. This stuff evaporates pretty quickly as well, so you don't really need to worry about it. But it is good just to leave it for some time, just to let it evaporate a bit more. And the manual says there is like a whole lot of other stuff that you can do in the amp, but I'm not going to do it because the amp works. It's just the contacts are a bit scratchy. So this one's clean, hopefully. And let me just stick this little straw thingy back in. And let's go to this one. Ooh, that one, you can even hear it's a tad bit scratchy. So that's why this one really needs it. So with some of these potentiometers, they're usually closed, like completely closed, so you can't really get access to them, which is not great, which is what I sort of had with these switches. So I just really hope that the contact cleaner actually managed to get in and managed to do some good inside. So yeah, I know for anyone who does not, who doesn't live in South Africa, you should know that Deoxit is like this product, if I can get it in shot. Deoxit is like this, and it works really well, probably works even better. But this is what I have, and I don't have Deoxit here, so just gotta make do with what I have. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all of the contacts clean. So we should be good about now. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of dust inside and at the front, and we should be good. So I'm going to put it all back together. Give me one moment, please. Right, so now our amplifier is reassembled and is basically, hopefully, good to go. I definitely think it is good to go because I followed all the instructions that, you'd have to do. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean, but I know you guys don't really want to see me cleaning an amplifier or anything like that. So, yeah. So, in the next video, there will be this system that this amp belongs to will be working with the record player that I repaired in the last part, in the first part. Then this will be the second part. And then the third part, well, that's going to be a surprise. But I can tell you that this amp is going to be there. So I'm just going to clean everything up, like, just the casing of the amp, because the inside is already pretty clean. So, I hope I taught you something on how to clean up your amplifiers, and thank you all for watching. Goodbye!